Welcome back. This week we're going to address accessibility for file names and links. But before we begin, take a moment to consider these links on this page. Can you tell which ones link to a website or which ones link to a file? Do you know what information you're going to get when you select these links? Do you know why you're selecting these links? The guidelines for making file names and links accessible for screen readers make the content more predictable and relevant for all users. So before we look at how to make corrections to file and link accessibility issues in UDOIT, let's consider what best practices are for naming files and links. A good link or file name is predictable, it provides purpose, and it is accurate or up to date. Consider these simple adjustments. Click here to read more does not provide context to where we're going. A little bit better would be click here to read more about accessible links, but it still doesn't exactly tell us where we're going. And so the best option here would be to go ahead and name the link based on what the user will see when they get there. Here's an example of links to videos. A screen reader will read the video URL letter by letter, which is very tedious. But even if you're not using a screen reader, just looking at this URL does not provide any context or predictability. Oftentimes, people like to use icons as a button for a link. This does not provide any context for a screen reader or a sighted user. And so if you do want to use an icon, be sure that you use the icon in connection with some text that provides context. We will talk a little bit more about adjacent links, but when you are using an image with text for a link, make sure they are one and the same link and not two separate links. Your best example is providing some context so that people can predict where they're going and know why they're going there. So watch Fixing Accessibility Issues in Canvas Content with UDOIT provides the name of the video. We know that it's a video because we say watch, and we've also provided the amount of time it will take so that users can predict and plan their time accordingly. File names should be descriptive enough so that the user understands what they are going to read. Just simply providing a link with the file name does not provide enough context for a student. While UDOIT Fact Sheet version 3 is not a bad naming convention for a file, to be a more accurate file name, we would want to call it UDOIT Fact Sheet and not include the extra information. Download sheet, as we have discussed, does not provide any context or predictability. So your best choice here will be download UDOIT Fact Sheet, the road to accessibility, and then in brackets we have PDF so that users know what kind of file they will be opening. So let's consider these guidelines as you may see them flagged in UDOIT. Again, if this is your first time in the UDOIT environment, take a moment to orient yourself. This is the third video in the series, so if you've not watched the other videos, you might want to pause this one and watch the introduction video and the Canvas page accessibility videos first. UDOIT will scan every 24 hours, so if it's been more than 24 hours since you've been into UDOIT, it will start by scanning for you. And then you can navigate to the home page or the dashboard. And the first issue we're going to look at is the link has nondescript text. If you use phrases like click here, read more, or link to in your links, they will recommend that you change that text. Going in and adjusting the link text is going to be your best option. Here is a great example of a URL being used where we could have a more descriptive link text. Instead of this being the help address, we can say that this is the UNC Help Desk. And so once you've gone in and adjust these, we can close and go back out to our dashboard. And I'll take you to the next issue we want to address, which is links should contain text. If you are using an icon or image without any text, you will want to include text. And then once you save, now you have a link that does not have adjacent links and that is more accessible for users. This is an important place to acknowledge that sometimes when content is copied and pasted into Canvas, a little HTML code goes hitchhiking along. We call this ghost code, and it'll appear as the error links should contain text. If you come across an error that says links should contain text, and you only see a blank space highlighted, you are safe to choose to delete that link without causing other harm to the page. So I'm going to delete this link, and it still retains my other link. Here's another example where a little bit of code came along onto the home page. And so we can delete this link and resolve the page. Another error you may see here that is not listed under our most common errors is adjacent links found. And here's an example where both links right next to each other link to the same location. Now this is an issue that cannot be fixed within UDOIT, so we will need to go into the page and select Edit. And you can either look for the adjacent links, or the Rich Content Editor will also provide you with some guidance, and it will merge the link for you. Once you hit Apply, you can save that. And then you can return to UDOIT. Again, you can mark this as resolved or go on to the next issue, and the next time you run the UDOIT scan, it will recognize that this has been fixed. Again, a good link or file name is predictable, provides purpose, and is accurate and up to date.